mastering must and have to in English conditionals. Hello, English learners. Welcome to another video in our series on English grammar. Today, we're going to dig into a very important topic: modal verbs in conditional sentences. More specifically, we will focus on must and have to. These are two modal verbs that often create confusion, so we're going to clear it up for you today. Let's jump right in. Modal verbs are special types of verbs that change the mood of the sentence. They include words like can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, and of course, must and have to. Must and have to express obligation or necessity, but they are used in slightly different ways, which we're going to examine in this video. Must is often used in conditional sentences to indicate a necessity or an obligation. However, must is rarely used in the conditional because its meaning is quite strong. It's more common in rules and laws. For example, if you want to enter the club, you must be 21 years old. This means it's an absolute requirement to be 21 to enter the club. Remember, must is rarely used in the conditional form with hypothetical situations, as it's too strong. On the other hand, have to is much more commonly used in everyday speech to express obligations. It's less strong than must. For instance, if you want to get a good grade, you have to study. This means studying is necessary for a good grade, but it's not as strict or absolute as the use of must. In negative conditionals, we often use don't have to show that something isn't necessary. For example, if you don't want to go to the party, you don't have to. In deciding whether to use must or have to, consider the strength of the obligation. Must is stronger and more formal, often used for laws, rules, and very strong personal feelings. Have to is softer and more common in everyday speech. Remember, in negative sentences, must not means it's necessary not to do it, while don't have to means it's not necessary to do it. For instance, you must not drive after drinking. It's a rule that you cannot drive after drinking. You don't have to cook tonight. It's not necessary for you to cook tonight, but you can if you want to. That wraps up our discussion for today. Now you should have a better understanding of how to use must and have to in conditional sentences. Remember, practice makes perfect. So, try using these modal verbs in your everyday English and you'll get the hang of it in no time. See you in the next video.